back, everyone, to the Bank Customer Experience Podcast. I'm once again joined by Cook Solutions Group. Always a pleasure to have them on. And I'm joined today by Joseph Parrillo, who's Director of Security Solutions, Cook Solutions Group, and Scott Smith, who's the VP of Strategic Solutions at Cook Solutions Group. Great to have you guys on.
Appreciate
Thanks
that.
for having us.
No problem. So today we're talking about something a little bit different. We've talked a lot about security. We've talked about security as related to check fraud, security as related to ATMs and cameras and stuff like that. But we really want to talk about digital signage and that customer experience solution within the branch. So we're seeing branches transform a lot. They're moving away from purely transactional to experiential places. So my first question is about why is digital signage specifically becoming a game changer for financial institutions in this modern banking environment?
It's an interesting question, Brad, and definitely appreciate that. I think I'll back up just a second, kind of talk about, I think most of you who have paid attention to our podcast kind of know as Cook Solutions Group or CSG, we always kind of have a forward thinking attitude and hey, what's the next step? What's the next thing there? And so as we were visiting with our customer base, kind of exploring, hey, what's the future roadmap look like? What is that? A lot of customers were obviously asking us, hey, what can we do to further our business with maybe some technologies that we already have? And so we were actually roundtabling with a couple of customers and they said, hey, it would be really neat if we could integrate some sort of marketing digital signage mechanism to what we currently do with our business platforms. So that's really was the conception of the digital signs, not only on the interior of the branch, but also the exterior, right? Like specifically in the drive ups. It's a way for financial institutions to not only integrate with their existing systems, but it's also a great way for them to market themselves, what they're doing in the community, some new products, kind of some things like that. So that's a little bit of the history of the philosophy on why digital signs have become so popular in our customer base.
Sure, great point. Anything like to add to that, Joseph?
Yeah, I think Scott alluded to it, but no longer is it just an LED sign, right? Having that ability to show your current rates that you can provide to customers, both internal or external, right? And also allowing the customers to see if maybe that ITM is out of service, right? Go to this line. And it's not that manual process. It's that direct integration that we can provide as well.
Sure. So you alluded to this, but I want to talk a little bit more. So how would you say digital signage is really different from more of that legacy drive-up signage where you show up and it just says ATM or teller or what have you?
Yeah, and that was kind of our philosophy is there's nothing against the traditional the LED signs by any means, but it's just another avenue for our financial institutions to explore or expand customer bases, member bases, those types of things. And where it's really different, it's pretty unique offering is it's kind of funny. Over the past, I've been in banking for 20 years and you always hear this thing called omni-channel, right? And I almost look at the banking as omni-channel. And really what we try to do is say, hey, everybody's so focused inside the branch. You've seen LED walls, panels for years. How can we now integrate that outside the branch through the drive up? And how can we take both instances and marry them together? So customer bases get the same experience, whether they're going through a drive-through or whether they're coming into the lobby. And it also gives the financial institution the same opportunity to reach out to their customers to say, hey, this is what we're doing. These are the type of options that we have. I think that's where we've kind of seen, that I don't want to call it legacy, but that's where we've seen traditional banking methods kind of morph is, hey, how can we extend that? I almost look at it like internet mobile banking, kind of the same scenario there. How can we take our banking, put it into your phone? We're doing the same thing. Hey, how can I take that drive up atmosphere? How can I also benefit what we're doing inside the branch? And how can we look like a united front to our customer base?
Right. If you don't mind asking, like, what sort of displays would you be using in sort of that drive up outdoor environment where
Yeah,
people can
no,
come and intervene?
it's simple and complicated at the same time, right?
Sure.
We actually have explored a number of different options, and what we did is we landed with a pretty robust, weatherproof, sunlight, but really it's just an outdoor rated TV, which
Hmm.
gives us that flexibility that we're looking for. Is you can show whatever you want, however you want. That was kind of the philosophy behind it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So obviously, oh, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, if I could just jump in real quick there. I think the other benefit to that is whether the financial institution wants to put their social media on there, right? Show their presence
Hmm.
or provide, I mean, 4th of July is upcoming, provide holiday hours or mention that, hey, even though our lobby's closed, our ITMs may be open or our ATMs are still
Hmm.
functional, right? Having
Right.
that unique branding outside to get another opportunity to also capture your customers' interest. Typically they'll go, well, they'll wait in line, they're on their phones, right? Instead of being on their
Hmm.
phones, maybe they capture a glimpse of the signage and understand what you're doing in the community locally, or hey, visit us on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, or hey, upcoming hours for the holiday we will be closed in observance, or maybe they're doing something
Absolutely.
in the community that they want to provide interest to their members. They can always invite them there as well. So having those different channels to also uh,
Hmm.
gather interest is a pretty big platform as well.
Yeah, and that leads us very well to our next question because obviously a lot of our listeners are involved in the ATM space. So, how does Cook Solutions Group in-house ATM and ITM screen content? How does that improve the customer experience, and what is that? How's that benefiting people from a digital signage perspective?
That's a that opens up a world of opportunity for CSG, and that's where we get really
Sure.
excited. Um, I like to give examples. I have a specific example, and Joey alluded to this. Is we actually have a customer that utilizes ITMs to be open in holiday hours, right? And so that's one thing is as you're driving down a busy road and it's a holiday and you can see on they're fairly large displays, you can see on them, hey, we're open for business. It kind of makes you double check and be like, oh wow, it's Christmas and they're open for a couple hours, or oh wow, it's the 4th of July and they're open from 10 to 12. Like that's really neat. But not only that, but where I think it can really help is, and this is where we're not quite there yet, but CSG being as forward thinking as we try to be and we like to be, is we see a world to where we could integrate all of these with the existing branch infrastructure, right? So we can integrate this with your camera system. Analytics and all of those things are becoming so popular in financial institutions today. There's a day that's not too far off that using AI and some of those other tools and on this display is, hey, when I pull up into this line based on some analytics that we've put in there, we could give approximate wait times. We could say, hey, your approximate wait is 3 minutes, your approximate wait is 5 minutes. And we're trying to automate that to where we can take as much human touch out of that as possible. And that's why we did integrate these to the ITM ATMs themselves. One thing that's really cool is if the ATM ITM does go out of service, you have a pre built package that will help you design, that will actually show without any manual intervention, hey, this is out of service, please go to the other line, or whatever the messaging might be there. So that's really kind of our philosophy and our game plan is really just to make that customer slash member base is seamless. And then not only from the end user perspective, but also from the branch staff perspective is we want to make their lives as easy as possible.
Right. All great points. So, let's move ahead to content a little bit. So, what kind of content are financial institutions using on both their signage and also the ATM screen to engage customers more efficiently? Because there's some questions about is this type of content on ATM screens, is it worthwhile or not? Right.
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. I can only go back to what what I've done and visiting with our customers on a daily basis and what we've seen, and really It's what do you guys want to see out of it? I've seen some really forward thinking things. I've seen some institutions use this as a marketing or a sales tool. These are really cool. You can put QR codes on them, so as you're sitting in line, you can scan it, it can pull things up. But one instance I'll give you that was kind of a little forward thinking. They actually enabled their business development officers, essentially their salespeople, to go out and use this as a tool to say, hey, on our ATM screens, on our digital marketing screens, on our internal screens inside the branch, if you guys bring your business over to us, like whether we get, all your business checking, your business loans, whatever that is, we'll actually advertise, or if it's a restaurant per se, we'll offer coupons on these screens, and it's a mechanism for the financial institutions to actually get that ROI. And not only we're so focused internally on how does customer and members interact with these, but not only that, but how can we drive businesses coming to your organization and wanting to bank with you? Those are some of the more creative things that kind of get my juices flowing. So that's kind of my answer there.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to say it's endless, right? We here at CSG, we try to be that agnostic company, right? Work with all the existing infrastructure and having that open platform. And I don't know if I'm going out on a limb here, but Scott, when you go into the software, I want to say there's over 400 different opportunities for different types of displays, whether it be ESPN, whether it be weather, whether it be live TV, whether it be a ticker tape at the bottom letting you know what the stock markets are at. So, I mean, it's pretty open. Having the ability to also bring in camera streams, like Scott mentioned, having it bring in social media, having it bring in local events, having it, I mean, it's pretty open. And the nice part is you guys still utilize the same marketing schema that you're using today for your ITMs or ATMs, and we can also put it onto the digital signage as well. So if you wanted those to be on the same type of schedule, you could do it. Or better yet, if you want local restaurants to be on Tuesdays and local hardware stores to be on Thursdays and local parks to be on Mondays, you have that ability to really develop your own plan as well.
Yeah, I really like that, especially because that brings a creative element to it and it gives something for the customers to actually want to see. Because in many cases, customers are coming up, they just want their cash, they want it quick, they want to stay that long. But if you give them something that really has value to them, then they might actually pay attention and not just be frustrated that why is it, why are you showing me this? I just want to insert my card and get going. But I want to ask about how easy is it for branches to update or manage that digital signage and marketing screens, specifically with Cook Solutions Group? How do you make it easy for them?
It's interesting, Brad. I think we've done a really good job of streamlining the process to where it's pretty hands off. And that's in our initial setup, right? We want to make sure, hey, if the ATM goes down, what exactly do you want this to show? Hey, to Joey's point, we can set up a schedule. Hey, every Monday, what would you guys like to show? Every Friday, what would you guys like to show? But there's a lot of flexibility in also being able to do things on the fly. So really, what Cook Solutions offers, there's a web UI and there's an app that these institutions can log into. As long as it's hooked up to their network, they can change whatever they would like to change as long as they've got certain artwork or whatever pre-built in there. The cool thing is it's real time, so it doesn't take any reboots or anything like that. You can make real time adjustments, changes, but we really try to focus with our institutions on, hey, we're a big company on if this, then that. So if this happens, then let's execute this command. We really want to take the ownership away from the branch, because the last thing the branch needs to worry about is, hey, is our sign reading what it's supposed to? Oh no, the ATM went down. Now we got to run outside and make sure that it says offline. We want all of those things to happen automatically. And so I think to answer your question, it's twofold. Hopefully, there's not a lot of intervention if we've done our job right. But then also, if you do want to do some manual intervention, it's really easy in real time.
Yeah, and also, I mean, going back, I know it's kind of beating it beating a dead horse, but the agnosticity of the hardware, right? We can use existing TVs, we can use existing um, internal or external devices that you guys already have in place. We don't have to come in and rip and replace everything. Having that ability, I mean, where we have these deployed, it could be upwards of 110 degrees. It could be as cold in the winter as 40 degrees. I know personally, I don't really enjoy getting bundled up, going back outside to flip a switch saying ATM only. I don't really like to go outside in the summertime when it's 110 degrees to make sure that the signage is showing what it should be, right? You have the ability to log in through the interface and see exactly what the schedule's showing what the TV's showing. Maybe you want your internal to be different than your external, right? You have the ability to really uniquely identify and display those digital signage displays as you want.
Sure. So, I wanted to ask, how have your customers been utilizing digital signage? What are some unique things you've noticed?
Yeah, I think the conception of this all came through the drive-through event, right? Like we wanted our customer base to have a seamless drive-through event. So I think that's the number one business case for digital signage is, hey, we want to notify our membership or our customer base what's going on there, what's online, what's offline. You can do some really fancy things. You can split screens, so you can actually run it to where you can point an arrow saying ITM this lane, ATM this lane. I think that's the conception. I think that's the general usage for right now today. Digital signage is through the drive-through, helping people mitigate their drive-through scenarios. What we've seen recently with our customer base is moving that to the interior facing branch level. And then, like I said, where we've seen a lot of things kind of morph and change is they've realized how flexible it is. So we have seen some usage of some QR codes. If they're doing promotional loan rates, promotional interest rates, they can throw those kind of ads up on there. So I think to answer your question, that's a high level of what we see our customer base utilizing these for today.
Right. And I'm curious, can you share a success story where digital signage really drove results at the branch level for the customers and for the employees and everyone?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. There's a couple that come to mind, and I'll give you two scenarios. I think what I was bouncing off there is we have a customer specifically that installed these and started on the strategic path of, hey, we want to make our customer base, membership base aware of specific products that we offer. And I did get some feedback that, hey, that was really neat because we actually saw, and I don't have any raw metrics on this, but he saw an increase of questions being driven. This one specific account wanted to market HELOCs. And they did say that their loan officer inside the branch that they were doing this at did see an uptick in questions. Unfortunately, I don't have any data to like how much did that revenue did that actually generate, but it did generate some leads for the institution. And then the other thing is I have had some positive feedback where they get way less complaints in the drive up scenario because you don't have people going through the drive through waiting in line only to pull up and see an ATM, ITM, or honestly, these can work with a tube system as well, your pneumatics, so to see that it's offline, to see that it doesn't work. You don't have to worry about an employee going and holding up a big stand that says it doesn't work, right? If they don't says a sign, it's big, it's open, it tells you, hey, use the other lane, and so that's the other bit of feedback we've gotten is far less frustration from their customer base and their member base on exterior facing wait times.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scott hit it pretty much on the head. Like this, as he mentioned before, pretty much rolled out originally to kind of integrate that experience for the customer, right? Have them understand ahead of time. And so I think, as he mentioned, those are the short term successes. I think the long term successes will be the continued integration and the development of different platforms into this TV, whether you want it to be cameras. I mean, hey, you're driving up. Hey, or you want to understand how many cars are in front of you, or you want to understand internally, how long have I been waiting in line? Or maybe they want to do some kind of, hey, 100th person in today gets a free giveaway. And then all the cameras kind of show to this one person, right? So I think it's just that continued development and understanding of all of the major wins that this could provide.
And lastly, I wanted to ask, is there any like plans for integrating like AI tools into this digital signage service, in your opinion? Or is that kind of just really off in the future?
As many of our other products, the openness of this platform really allows for continued development and integrations. I don't want to say that it will be 100% all in on AI, but I think, as many of our customers know, if they bring us a problem and they need a unique solution, we are typically on the forefront of helping them find that solution that may mitigate their risks or their issues that they're facing.
Yeah, I think to that point, I mean, we definitely have had those conversations, and there's definitely a fit with AI being kind of the new term there. I think that there's a lot of runway. I think that if we did build an AI agent within the platform, it could do some really sophisticated things, like, hey, I don't want to get crazy with you, but these things aren't out of the realm either. What if one day the camera system can capture a license plate, and it can then go back into your core processing system and say, oh, hey, they just paid off their mortgage, or oh, hey, they just paid off their auto loan? Does that automatically trigger an ad to where AI can automatically, based off criteria that it has earned or learned, to then put something on a screen to say, oh, are you looking for a new car? Or, hey, do you want to refinance? Or, hey, are you interested in a HELOC? Those things are absolutely not out of the realm. And I think that's what's fun about this product is it's new, it's evolving, and we're open to customer feedback on, hey, it'd be really neat if we could do this. And that's what a lot of our tools, our solutions are AI based. And so there is that flexibility there.
Excellent point, Scott. Now, Scott and Joseph, is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off today?
Just really appreciate the time. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. And like I said, we appreciate everybody out there. And you guys do a great job. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity today, and it's always been a pleasure. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us, the Bank Customer Experience Podcast, and stay tuned for further episodes. Thank you so much, Scott and Joey.